What's up guys, Crane here from LogicLounge.com, back with another Windows 10 how-to video. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the new Microsoft Edge browser. This is the successor to Internet Explorer and aims to be much more than just a standard web browser. So let's take a quick look inside this web browser. The first page that you will pull up is not an actual web page, but a customizable home page for you. It is split up into multiple sections showing the latest news, your current weather in the area, and the latest sports tickers. This search bar at the top is not only a search bar, but also the web address bar. This is the quick address bar that will allow you to quickly search or even type in a browser location. So this page is also customizable. Going to customize section, you can customize the language if you happen to be in an area with a different language. Also, what your favorite topics are. So it will customize this page with the latest news based on your favorite topics rather than what it thinks it should show to you, which is fantastic, by the way. So going in more to the settings, let's take a look around before we jump into the main browser. So in the settings area, there are some settings in here that you can play around with and toy and then turn on or off depending on what your preference is. The first thing is that it has themes. You can choose a light theme or a dark theme depending on how your eyes adjust. Maybe at night you want to use a dark theme rather than a light theme. So you can customize this to how you want it to be, just light or dark. Favorites bar, if you happen to have any favorites, that will show there. Fantastic. You can just do the normal things with a web browser, having it open with the start page. That's the start page that I had mentioned earlier. Have it start with a new tab, your previous pages, a specific page, and then you can choose how to open up new tabs. It has easy access to clearing browser data, which is fantastic. And then in advanced settings, there are some things in here that you may want to turn off or turn on. The first thing is to show the home button. A lot of people like that physical home button that you can turn on. So what you can do is put that on in the advanced settings just by flicking it on, and you can customize that home button to be either the start page or you can have it go to a specific website when you click the home button, and you can customize it right there. Blocking pop-ups is a default on, which is fantastic because a lot of things happen to come up in pop-ups that you might not want. You can enable or disable the Adobe Flash Player. Flash Player is riddled with bugs, so you might want to disable it maybe. Caret browsing is if you want to use your keyboard to select text, you can turn that on or off. Offering to save passwords, saving form entries, you can turn that on or off. I think by default both of these are on. I just tend to turn them off. I also tend to turn on the send do not track requests as people with more privacy enable can be there. If you have Cortana enabled, you can enable the assisting settings right here. It's grayed out right now because Cortana isn't currently active. You can change your search engine here. That's one thing that a lot of people want to do. You can change it from Bing to Google if you might want to, and it can show search suggestions, which is great. And then just some privacy settings in there that you might want to take a look at. And I usually try to turn on all the privacy settings that I can. That's the general gist of the settings here. So let's talk about the other features of this web browser. First, let's go to the Windows 10 Wikipedia page. Why not? We'll use it because we need an informative page for me to show you this next feature. So here's the Windows 10 Wikipedia page. Now, something that might be cool for business folks or for students is that you can live annotate web pages. To do this, you want to click the little pencil with the notepad to make a web note. This will bring up a OneNote type interface in the menu bar where you can quickly jot down things such as you can circle important text or highlight things that you might find important. And then if you make a mistake, of course, you can just erase it and put it back in, which is great. And you can right-click on any of these options to change colors. You can right-click on them to change anything that you want about them that gives you the options such as like the thickness or the color. So you can really annotate these pages and make them pop out. Additionally, you can add comments to pages. So if I wanted to make a comment here, I can add a comment, and it will save right in there. And then of course you can even clip out certain parts. So if I wanted to click out that part, I can do it there, and it copies off to the web browser. So I like this. I think it's fun, and I think that people who are in school or business might be able to use this as a great productivity tool. And of course, all of this can be saved off to OneNote. So you can save it off, send it to an email. So maybe you want to email your bosses with some changes, or maybe email it to yourself or save it to your OneNote. You can do it right there by sending it to yourself through OneNote, because this is powered by OneNote. You can also share the page as well. You can share it through mail. You can share it through OneNote or any of the supported services. Because this is a new install of Windows 10, doesn't have a lot of things on it. We only get those options right now. But that's what you can do with them. It's great, like I said, because you can really annotate pages and make them interactive for yourself. And then, of course, there's also a panning tool here if you want to pan up and down with the page, which is great. And that's, I think, one of the very strong features about this web browser, is that you can actively edit pages through the web browser itself. There's also standard sharing tools and reading lists, and your downloads are now, I think, in a little bit better place to find these. I found that some of the settings with the old Internet Explorer were a little bit harder to find, and this kind of puts them right where you want. So reading lists, you can have your favorites list. So like you can quickly favorite a page. If I wanted to favorite this page, I just did so, and now it's right there. And of course, it was saving the web note of the page. And of course, we can go right back to our new tab. Overall, I think the web browser is great. I am still a fan of Google Chrome, but you might want to give it a try if any of those annotation features might look of use to you. This is generally one of those things that it's either a hit or miss with people. For me, it's probably a miss. For other people, it's probably a hit, because it's generalized to the people who maybe want a nice, fast web browser. It is actually a pretty fast web browser and very responsive. It's up to date with all of the latest web things. I'll just call it web things, because there's a lot of things out there. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Microsoft Edge web browser. If you haven't checked it out yet, you might want to check it out for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in our next video.